Hello. I'm supposed to make another video by now, but I didn't, so have another sketchbook tour instead. So on this first page, I made this back in January, and I hate it so much that I didn't sketch in my sketchbook again for 4 months until around the start of April. And yeah, so the colors bled through the page. The page was stuck together. I just don't think this is a very well-made sketchbook, so hopefully my next one is a little better. On this page I was planning on drawing Teto, but then I decided not to. And then after this point, I didn't draw again for months on end. Until just before the new Doctor Who season came out. So back in December, I started watching Doctor Who, right after the Christmas special last year. When I watched the 14th Doctor, I just got really inspired to draw David Tennant, no matter how good or bad it was. So, these ones are quite nice though. Like, I probably hated them at the time, but they're not that bad. They're pretty bad, but they were... I don't know. I did have fun drawing David Tennant though, even in this chibi style. I started practicing colored pencils. Not the greatest with that yet, but heyo. Here was like a little doodle of Ncuti Gatwa and just a random man next to him. But yeah, teeth were a very big struggle for me at this time. On this page I used a post-it note to just cover up something a little bit embarrassing. I probably should have gone through and filled out these pages, but I didn't want to, because this sketchbook is kind of low quality. It felt nice when I bought it, but once I'm actually sketching in it, it's it bleeds through a lot. Even with highlighters, you can see on this knuckle page. Here is another drawing of Grimsley as well. Love Grimsley. I was really proud of these double page spread here. Up in this corner as well, you can see that I've done this weird, I don't even know what to describe it as. This is something that animators do. It's an exercise to help your line control. You're supposed to draw a shape and then keep going smaller and smaller inside that shape and go all the way around while also keeping the distance between the lines about the same. I got some more Grimsley drawings. This little character here, this little chibi tadpole guy, I don't know, I was just experimenting. And a little drawing of my avatar too. I'm still trying to figure out the design. And some fabric fold studies this was. On this page, I don't know, I needed to practice the fabric folds in the dress, but I ended up making her body way too wide and her head way too small, so it ended up looking like a JoJo Part 3 character, but with a baby head. You'll probably hear more about this drawing a little bit later for another video, but for now, I'm just gonna say I was trying to practice drawing like Araki. Here was part of the outfit studies. This was one of the first ones I did, which is why it's not the best. This here was an outfit from Pokemon Masters EX. It's one of Erica's outfits. You can even probably see a faint outline of Erica on there too. This next page was just a doodle page. Got a random cube. I drew some Witch Hat Atelier I drew some Witch Hat Atelier characters. That's Quifrey, and I always forget the other character's name. But another Quifrey sketch that I just kind of didn't like the head of, so I started doing portrait studies. There is a website called Line of Action that is really good for this kind of thing. You can pick a certain amount of time that you get to draw an image, and then you just have to get it down as quickly as possible, following an actor or a model as reference. And it's really helpful. It's probably the best study resource that I have learned about. It did start off kind of rough, but there are a few good portraits in here. This one's really nice. This one, also quite good. I didn't like it at the time, but it's actually really good. If I had more than 5 minutes to draw it, it would probably be quite nice. This one, it's alright, but like I did mess up the mouth a little bit, and the beard. I don't know. Here, this one's I think this would have benefited from teeth. Again, I need to practice teeth still. And maybe I should just study the mouth in general, because this one's pretty bad too. Here, this was like one of the last ones I did before I was like, I need to stop now. I'm getting fatigued. This was all in one session, just drawing for 5 minutes each, and this one was like the final straw. I didn't like it, so I just gave up and started drawing basic shapes, which turned out quite nicely. And then more portrait studies. These ones were alright. I think these were more like middle of the range, but also more consistent. Some of them I just didn't have that much time though. Here, this was also part of the outfit studies, but I just kind of decided to draw Grimsley in it. It's alright. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not the worst thing, but it's not amazing either. More portrait studies. I do try. Here was like another, like it's fine, it just needs better teeth in the drawing, that's all it is. And at this point I started taking notes as well. I did kind of give up taking like proper notes. I just kind of pointed out what I didn't like about it and then moved on at that point. A lot of people actually called this one a lizard person, specifically comparing it to Jeff Bezos. And like now we're on like a long streak of clothes studies again. Some of them are like characters. This is, yes, Arezu from Pokemon Legends Arceus. I started doing some gesture studies, and I also started drawing like different hairstyles to try and put on an OC of mine. I do have a separate sketchbook for OCs, but this is all I had on me at the time because I was out in public. I actually got my hair cut right after drawing these. And again, more practice with hair for this one OC. So the creator Narami has this like series where she'll like draw her own outfits, and I thought it was cool, so I decided to draw her outfits also. And now we're back to portrait studies. I feel like the latter half of this sketchbook is much more interesting and much more like the earlier parts of the sketchbook that you have already seen. But just more portrait studies. There really isn't much to say. On this page, on line of action, you can either pick a set time for each drawing, or you can do school mode, where it will basically tell you, draw all of these in like 5 seconds, then 10 seconds, then 15 seconds, then 30 seconds, a minute. It keeps going up and up until eventually you have drawn a face in like, I don't even know, maybe 15 minutes, an hour? I don't know. But you can see like I was just rushing to get these sketches out as quickly as possible. This page... This one's awful. I hate it. Don't look at it, please. I did go back and redraw that one though, on the next page. Right here, and I did a slightly better job, but still not amazing. It's an improvement over the previous drawing, so that's good. Just a little stick figure doodle here. I got bored. Here is the hip look dance outfit. That is actually my screensaver on one of my monitors. And here's one of the pokey dance outfits. For these next few, I just did the pokey dance because the outfits were simplified for the animation, and I thought they were all kind of cool. So I did a few of my favorites. Still on these outfit studies, so most of these past drawings have actually been over the span of like 2 weeks. So that's crazy how most of this sketchbook was actually done in like 2 weeks. I say most, like I haven't been like drawing a smiley face on a page and then moving on. I tried Grimsley again. I think that might have actually been the last Grimsley drawing in the sketchbook. And another stick man. On this page, I started doing some shoe studies. But also on this day, I went out and I drew in public for a little bit. This man, I actually drew just on the bus. It wasn't supposed to be anyone, but I drew this man and also one of these shoes while I was on the bus. This little frog hoodie girl, I think she's kind of cute. I like frogs. I've been playing Expedition 33 a lot, and I was getting sick of having to wait until the end of the story before I could make fan art, because apparently if I look up any images, I will get spoiled. I just decided to do some doodles while playing the game. And then right below that, I also drew Hulkenberg from Metaphor Refantasio. When I found out that Call of the Night was getting a Season 2, I decided to start watching Season 1 again, and I just kind of got inspired to draw Nazuna. With this, I think I kind of made the hips way too thin. And here, I went out to draw in a cafe. And this was just a warm-up sketch. I didn't have any reference or anything, I just decided to draw. I had some pens, but I didn't end up using many of them. You can also see, like, I've started to draw eyes in a very specific way. I studied Metaphor Refantasio's eyes. I really liked this drawing until I got to the hand. So if you just pretend that's not there, then I don't know. Then it looks much better. This little sketch, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but I didn't like it at first, and then I changed my mind later. It's alright. I think the fringe needs a bit more work, but other than that, it's actually a pretty good drawing. This little paper slip, I bought an art book internationally, and I just decided to stick this in my sketchbook. I have no reason for it. It's just an advertisement for the store that I bought the book from, but I thought it looked cool. At this point, you can see how my fandoms have transitioned a little bit, because I went from drawing Miku in January at the start of the sketchbook to Doctor Who in April. This was like a week ago that I drew this. Epic the Musical, and most of the last drawings in the sketchbook are just Epic the Musical sketches. I listened to it for the first time, and then I listened to it at least once every single day for the past week. It's taken over my life. This page is obviously a reference to the second song in the musical, I'm Just a Man. I love it so much. Here is a drawing of Hermes. I drew the mouth too low again, but other than that, it's actually pretty good drawing. I like it a lot. This was another doodle page. We see a return of the tadpole character. There was a little doodle of one of the song lyrics, Hold Him Down. Hold him down while I slit his throat. I'm not keeping that in. On this page, I drew Circe and a little Odysseus. I'm really happy with that Odysseus this little doodle, actually, as well as the Circe sketch, too. But again, another reference to the song lyrics. All I did was reveal their true form. You turned them into pigs. Huh. We got a sketch of Zelda just while I was warming up, and then a sketch of Hermes as well. This time more in line with the design I like to draw him in. And on this page, we have a little comic. Again, reenacting song lyrics. This is from Puppeteer. That's one of my favorite songs in the musical. All 4 of the Circe Saga songs are my favorite songs in this musical. It was a power we couldn't resist. Oh, what was it? A woman. What? She had us in just 2 words. Come inside. Damn. Welcome to the best part of your lives. I really don't like the 4th panel. But other than that one panel, I think this is a really good comic, actually. On this page, I did Lusamine. I finally decided to give Highlighter another go, but this time I had like a bleed guard thing, just a sheet of paper to stop the pen from bleeding through. I really like this drawing, actually. It's really cool. As well as Rosalina on the next page. I really like how in Mario Kart World they gave her like this Y2K aesthetic. And I don't know. I just love all of her outfits in the new game. This Luma was just kind of a doodle while I was leaning back in my chair so I couldn't even really see it. Here, another Odysseus sketch. I was gonna do a little drawing of myself, but decided not to. The pages were stuck together again. I was like this all throughout the sketchbook. I just didn't want my last page to be one that was stuck together. So I turned the page again and just drew it on that page instead. And it was another drawing of Hermes. Hooray! I love Hermes a lot, if you couldn't tell. But yeah. That's the end of the sketchbook now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.